Hello, this brief tutorial is to show students how to create an MLA formatted document in Word. So the first step, obviously, is to open Word and then go to blank document. Double click to open, and now you're in your new document. So a really useful thing to know is that every time you create a blank document in Word, a brand new blank document, all of the margins should already be set to the proper setting. So for MLA formatting, the settings should be set for 1-inch margins at the top, the bottom, and the left and the right. To check and see what these margins are, you can simply move your cursor on the tabs at the top of the page and select Layout. After that, if you go to Margins, you can see there are several different preset margin settings. And you can see that highlighted is what's called Normal. And it shows 1-inch margin at the top, and the bottom, the left, and the right. So as long as you're creating a brand new document in Word, your margins should already be correctly formatted for MLA. If for some reason your settings got messed up, or maybe you were working on a document that had margins that were incorrectly spaced, so maybe you accidentally had them at 0.5, you can always just go back and switch them to the normal 1-inch settings. So that's the first step in creating your MLA formatted document. The next important step is that for MLA, you should always have a page number and your last name in the heading of each page. So, as you can see where the cursor is, this is what we call the body of the page. And all of the places where the cursor doesn't touch are our margins. To open up the heading, simply double click in the top margin and it will open up the header in order for you to add text and page numbers. To add page numbers, you want to come over to the left-hand side of the screen. You can see header, footer, page number. Select page number. You have two options. You can do a page number at the top of the page or at the bottom of the page. MLA formatting wants page numbers always to be listed at the top of the page. Select top of page, and then you have to choose between whether you want it on the left, centered, or the right. For MLA formatting, you always want the page numbers to be centered, not to be centered, but to be in the right-hand margin. So we're going to select that, and you can see the page number here. The next important element of your header is not just the page number, but having your last name in the document. So I'm going to type my last name, and then I'm going to put a space. What that means is that every page as I type along will have in the header my last name and then the correct page number for that page. So once I continue writing my paper and I start a second page, it will say Barshay 2, Barshay 3, and so on. Those are the basics for getting things set up. But another element that you need to pay attention to is that when you create this header, the font is always set to Microsoft's default font, which is Calibri. This is not the correct font for MLA formatting. So you must highlight your last name and the page number. Make sure you're on the Home tab, go to the font selector, and choose Times New Roman. That's the correct font. However, the font size also needs to be adjusted. Microsoft always defaults to a 11-point size for font, but MLA formatting always wants a 12-point Times New Roman. So we must change it to 12. Now we can see that the font is correctly New Times Roman, and we can see that it's the right size. So we have completed the first step of our formatting, which is to set 1-inch margins and to get our header set up. Stay tuned and we'll go through the rest of MLA formatting.